it looks to you like I'm in a big whited out universe. My little car parked in a parking garage here, but it is just a parking garage. I'm just killing some time. I have wanted to do a video. I've got a meeting to do a little presentation. So many people email me and they say things like, I need to try OMAD. I need to give that a try. And they do it so flippantly. They say things like that. They say, I'm going to try this. I'm going to just give this a shot. But disproportionately, they tend to fail more than others. And the reason they do it is because they do it flippantly. They do it without putting themselves into it, investing in your body. Remember, in my other videos, I've covered the difference sometimes, just passing along the way, about being a consumer or an investor over a consumer. You want to be an investor in yourself. You don't want to be a consumer, because the consumers are at Walmart just buying junk. But if you're an investor, you're buying in stock. So one, it helps you long term. The other is makes you just like the sheeple who go around and don't think about things and eat all the time and do the things that make the masses the masses. What you want to do is commit to something. And when I ask people to commit to 6 weeks of OMAD to see results mentally and physically, I'm asking for exactly that, a commitment. I'm not asking to try something. People say, I'm going to try this. I'm going to give that a shot. And they fail because they don't realize that the power of indecision is as powerful as the power of decision. When you make up your mind and you say, we've got to do this, I've got to drop an X number of pounds, I've got to lower cholesterol, I've got to lower blood pressure, I've got to stop my binging, I've got to stop my eating disorder. Those are huge things. And I, of course, speak, from personal experience when I say those are very difficult things to do. You have to commit to it. But the reason some of you are failing is because you think that just sort of being flippant about it is okay. You can't say, I'm going to try something. You have to say, I'm going to do this. But you can't just say that either. You also have to follow through. You have to realize that anything worth doing is worth doing well. That's another statement I've made over and over again. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. So you can't go in there and with the idea that you might fast today, because obviously when your hunger takes over, you're gonna throw your fasting out the window. You're gonna be full. You're gonna say, you know what, I'm fasting tomorrow. But then when you get hungry again, you're gonna rethink that conviction, and you're gonna say, no, that's maybe another day. And you're gonna do what so many of you do. You act like, and I've had good friends who do this. People who really need to lose weight and reclaim their health. They say things like, well, when the time is right, I'm going to lose weight. A lot of people do that on MyFitnessPal. They say, when the time is right, I'm going to lose weight. That time's never going to come. The stars are never going to line up, and then everything's just going to fall right into place to where it's convenient and everybody supports you and there's no tragedy in the family and everything just works out perfectly. That's not going to happen. You can say that with 100% certainty. When has anything ever lined up perfectly in a school year for your kids, or in your business where everything went well? There were no challenges, there were no lawsuits, there were no workers' compensation claims. I'm speaking as for those of you in the business world, but let's put any analogy in there. When has everything just lined up perfectly? Things don't work that way. Don't be given to convenience, and especially gimmickry. And I'm talking to those of you who can remember those Bowflex commercials from the 1980s and 90s. I think it was 90s, where they had a model, working out on a Bowflex, and they had aggressive music playing, and they say, for just so and so payments, your body can be a hard, fit body. Total fraud, because those actors never got their bodies that way. And if you are honest with yourself, you will admit that. But you're going to, all that exercise equipment and stuff, that's part of the gimmickry. It's like supplements. Most of them is just gimmickry. You feel productive when you do it. It's like cleaning your house. You feel really good because you feel like you've gotten something done. But have you really gotten something done? What have you really done? Where's your progress? Have you moved the needle? Most people, they haven't, and they won't, because they can't recognize these things in themselves. Indecision is powerful. If you want to try something, if you want to be flippant, go out and buy more junk. Go out and buy one of these standing desks like the self-improvement people are now talking about. The reality is you're just going to have invested a couple $100s in another product that's going to help you not do things well. because you're going to be standing and maybe you'll get some work done, but what am I thinking of? Treadmill desks. You're just not going to be able to use the desk properly because you're trying to split your efforts, and really you're just being deceived by the gimmickry. Don't go for the gimmickry. There's so many thigh master machines, and that's not going to help you lose weight anyway. But most people are deceived by the gimmickry aspect of feeling productive. Don't feel productive. Don't make big plans that you can't follow through on. We're talking about the same thing here. Please don't go for that. Understand that the power of indecision is just as big as the power of decision. And that, of course, is the good parting thought here. You can make a decision and say, here's what we need to do. When I started OMAD, all I knew was that. I was inflexible enough and stubborn enough to say, I'm going to eat once a day, come hell or high water, I don't care what anybody else does. If you can have that level of inflexibility, and you need some inflexibility, you can't be one of these people who are always talked by the new science out of doing something or into doing something. Tons of people like that. They're all over the internet reading articles on the best way to do something, and they never actually do anything productive or stick with something because they're driven with the wind and tossed. And they're in and out with the tides because that's who they are. And until they can see the patterns and recognize the handwriting on the wall, they won't be able to make those corrections. So don't try OMAD. Commit to it and understand that the big, huge benefits that await you, they await every aspect of your life, and you'll look back as a changed person and you'll say, I can't believe I once thought that. I can't believe I once did that. I can't believe that's the way I used to be. Every day, it's been a few years now, but every day I continue to enjoy the changes that I see in me from the experience. So let's quit trying things. Let's be a little bit more inflexible, and let's start making sharper, better decisions and sticking by them.